You are most likely more than familiar with the phrase that if you hang out with 9 people who do a certain substance, you'll be the 10th. We can flip that around. If you hang out with 9 people that skateboard, you might become the 10th person to start skateboarding. The idea is that you become what you surround yourself with. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And a lot of people sometimes get resistant to this, including myself, because I always thought that, I'm independent. I get to choose what I want to do. I choose my friends, and I don't have to do the same things that they do. When you start to look around, and it's not just what your friends do that you start doing. It's what your friends believe that you start believing. It's how your friends think that you start thinking. Really on a noticeable level, it's how your friends talk, how your friends humor is the same way that you start humoring or talking. And I'll never forget this in, I believe it was 3rd grade, because I had the 4th grade homies around me. We had this thing in class where it was called, it's basically getting complete. So you finish all your work from Monday through Thursday, and then you get to go to the other side of the room and have a party. So that it's 2 teachers, and they had 2 sides of the room. Like, Monday through Thursday, you're just hanging out on both sides and doing all the work. And they were, stations, they called them stations. And we ran around and did all the stations. And one time, one of the kids, one of our friends, perceived an injustice had occurred. He thought that he got done with everything. And the teacher said, "Oh, missed that thing right there. You're not done. You're not complete. You can't go to the party." And he said, "Actually, you know what? F this, F the party, and F you." And then he walked to the other side of the room where there was no party, sat down and just hung out. And me and the other homie were like, I think we'll join in this protest. So we began to protest the whole system. We said, F it. We're just going to be on the other side of the room. We're not going to do any of this. We're not even going to play by your game, dog. We're not doing anything. Matter of fact, it's going to be a bigger party. Us partying Monday through Thursday, and then all we have to do is sit on the other side of the room for like a day. That's easy. It went so far that parents had to get called, and they all had to get brought in, and they had to break it up. And the second that somebody got complete out of the 3 of us, we were like, F that person. Screw them. Can't believe they broke the line. And we were upset. How dare they be successful? And this is the first thing that you hear from a lot of people that come out of certain neighborhoods with exigent circumstances or stratification. They'll say, wow, you changed. And it's not in a good way. It's not in a complimentary way. It's a, wow, you changed, in a way that is really judgmental, negative to this other person. And what we don't realize is that we don't take up limiting beliefs until we believe the limiting beliefs of people around us. Our limiting beliefs, every belief is limited. We'll get into that another time. But the extent to which a belief is limited is mainly and mostly determined by the people around us and their limiting beliefs. I can't explain to you what happened junior year in high school on the swim team. There were several people that were brought on from other clubs to the high school swim team that were like phenoms. They had been swimming since they were like kids, like 4 or 5. And their level of work, their level of skill, their level of commitment and focus, it lent to everybody else. Everybody else's beliefs on how they could be or should be or would be totally changed because these other swimmers joined the team. Like it changed everything. The whole landscape changed because a few kids joined and they were already like on this level that other kids were on, but it was just like more people and it was like, oh wow, we're all up on game now. Like, let me see if I can find the actual, other people's limiting beliefs only become your own when you start believing them. And their limitless beliefs became our own because we started believing them. We started believing that we can operate like these other people. We can actually win these swim meets. These other suburbs, they ain't got nothing on us. We can do it. And money wasn't a factor. Equipment wasn't a factor. It was like, we have the grit, we have the commitment, we're gonna make it happen. And once we started believing and investing in that, everything changed. So the first step to essentially not letting other people's limiting beliefs govern your own are to look within first. Don't look at your friends. Do not look at that first. Look at yourself. It's so easy to look at the weather outside and say, yes, this is what's keeping me inside, or this is why I am this way. No. Look at yourself first. What are your beliefs? And this isn't to say, look outside your beliefs, or really open up, the landscape, or start to envision new things. You'll get there. Do it right now if you want to, but you'll get there. What are the rules you've been, what's the ceiling you've put over you? What are the kind of like the confines you've been working within? What are those? Now look at the confines that your friends work within. The others around you, the things that you've been told, maybe as a kid. First things first, what are the confines and limiting beliefs that you hold right now? Write them down. Don't be ashamed. And really don't judge yourself when you write them down. It's okay. They are limiting beliefs. You don't own them. You can, do away with them if you want. It's okay. It's all good. The second thing is, then take a look at the people around you with no judgment. Just assess the field. Assess what is going on. What am I a part of? And the last story I'll give you is, oh my goodness, I'm gonna forget his name, but I'm gonna look it up. He's my favorite Canadian. But he has this great story. The second thing is to look at the people around you. Now, we talked about this. You may have to purge some things to become somebody you've never been. To do something you've never done, you have to become somebody you've never been. And to do that, you may have to let go of some things that you've been holding on to. And to do that, you have to look at these things as impersonally as possible, which is really tough. It's really tough. Sometimes the universe, God, or life just gives you a situation like this swim team situation, and they were like, yo, check this out. Oh, what? We can actually do all this? Oh, wow, we can really go further than I thought that we could. Oh, let's give it a shot, guys. Let's go. And you also see this with people that, oh man, no, I don't even want to give this example. We'll use this another time. It's about relationships and marriage and We'll go there another time. But you see this with people that have, actually, yeah, we can. Examples that you've been given growing up. How do people work by those? Actually, I love making these videos as the sun is going down, because you're getting an experience from beginning to end. Yes, there was a beginning where there was sunlight. We're going to brighten it up a little bit. I think it's probably going to affect the quality, but who cares? It's about the message, not the texture. And people living by example, they were affected by their environment. That happens. We talked about this in the previous video. People exiting exigent circumstances and still carrying that with them. They're projecting, they're reacting to who they feel they have to be in those situations. Their beliefs determine their actions. And so when you take inventory of your limiting beliefs, then take inventory of the people you keep around you, and then lastly, here we go, you begin to envision what would it be like if it were different? Not what do you want for yourself? I mean, I think this is a lot of bedrock level stuff that I like to get into, because the ideating and the imagining and the creativity, the creation, we can get into that. You can do all of that. I know that you can do that. Just getting to a level of taking inventory of what's around you is just the beginning. And I feel like so many people just quickly skirt over that when it's like, no. Take inventory. Be mindful of what is around you, what you're allowing to be inside of you, what you're allowing to be your own limiting beliefs, like what you're allowing to believe, what you're allowing yourself to think, what words you're allowing that you're allowing to say in your own self-talk. Like, what language do you allow in your own self-talk? That is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And I think once you start to take inventory of that, okay, what is it like if it's different? What if what if there's more? What if you can have more? What if you can give more? What if you can be more? What if you can serve more? What if you can say more? What if you can say less? Like, what do all those things look like? In the example that I'll give you, this guy, Bill, I believe his name is, he spoke about this bar that he used to go to. And he went to this bar, I think, often. He was a regular. And he said one day, after years of going to this bar, I think he was in his 20s or 30s, he looked around and he said, "My goodness, everybody in here is a bum." Now, he used obviously some pretty discreet judgment, some sharp judgment. And then he said to himself, he's like, "I'm a bum." And he said he left the bar, never came back. And he's saying the story to an audience, and he says, "And you know what? They missed me so much they never called me." And so the idea was just like, no, the space wasn't gonna call him. It's a bar. You know, you're their business. You know, like you're essentially on the menu. I mean, it is what it is, but he said he left that bar and everything changed. Because he stopped surrounding himself with whatever the environment of the bar was, in his eyes, limiting him from becoming. The strange thing happened to me actually a week ago. So I ran track in high school, and I still run track now. I'm proud to say that. And I said, you know, I'm going to give this a shot. We're going to do a time trial. We're going to run a 400. I will not repeat the number that I ran. It was not satisfactory to me. I ran around that track and I hit probably the 250 mark. My legs seized up. I was in bad shape, homie. Bad shape. And I was wondering myself, how could this be? How is this happening right now? This is awful. And I said, all right, I'm gonna try it again. So I made it around the track, and it was bad. I felt awful. And I had not run a 400 at a competitive pace in many years. And so about a week passes, and there's a hill that's 400 meters. I didn't know this at the time, but I was going to do this hill, and I was like, I'm getting better at this. I got to be better at this. I want to be better. And because I didn't know it was a 400, I just went about it differently. And I was like, I'm going to run this hill. And I ran it the first time, and I got, X time. Ran it the second time, a little slower. Ran it the third time, ran it a little faster between the first and the second time. Ran it the fourth time. I ran faster in that final try on the hill than I did on the track. I had no idea how long the hill was, that it was 400 meters. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is that I wanted to beat that time. I just wanted to be better. I knew that I could do it. I knew I could do it. And so I gave it my all. I had no expectations, and I wasn't, and this is a little bit meta here, but I wasn't surrounded by the beliefs that I thought a 400 meters should be or feel like. I had nothing to go off of. So I was just there, purely in space, just like running up a hill in pain. And so without any markings like along the way, without measuring out any kind of idea of what it was supposed to be, I ended up going faster than what I did on a flat track. And many times, again, we only take on the limiting beliefs of others when we begin to believe them ourselves. And how that works a lot is people project their limiting beliefs onto us. It's not from a place of, they want us to not be successful. It's simply what they've been raised to believe, and their lack of awareness of it. Sometimes they just continue on with it, and then they put it onto us. And there's so much life to be had outside of the limiting beliefs you have right now. And again, what are the beliefs you have for yourself? 2, what are the beliefs of people around you? And 3, what can be different? What does it look like if it's different? What is that? What is more? What is less? What is going a little bit further? For me, it was going up a hill without having any markings along the way, or knowing that I was running 400 meters. Oh my God. And that was the whole point. It was running without any understanding of how far I was going. It was just letting go, surrendering the expectations, and just going for it. And so I hope that you're able to figure out where you've drawn your limits and where they've been drawn because of the company and the environment you keep, and then break through. Break through. All right, that's all I got for you in this video, and it is so dark right now. The light is gone. Not entirely, but it'll come back, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.